we're talking about mommy curses?
It feels like the quarterback should be there supporting his girlfriend at the cheer competition,
Right.
not the coach.
Did you see these pregnancy rumors? You're listening to She's the Fan, the sports podcast for the girls who want in on the conversation.
Brought to you by your sports BFF. I'm Heather.
And I'm Abby.
If you're enjoying this podcast, do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening, and maybe share this with a friend. Also, for more sports content, make sure you follow us at your sports BFF on both Instagram and TikTok.
Here we go.
We wanted to say live from London, but we're not live. Kind of live.
From London. Recording from London.
Yes. Also, happy Thanksgiving, because this will be live Thursday morning.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm in London, so I keep forgetting that it's Thanksgiving because they don't do that here.
Just us, just the U.S.
And we're in London, and we're going to an Arsenal game later, which I've got words to say about that.
Yes, we'll dig into that. We've got some football updates, hockey gossip, and more football gossip, I guess. Cheer gossip, football gossip. Where does she belong?
It's football adjacent.
It's football adjacent. It's sports gossip. It's not really gossip. It's true. But yeah.
Can we tell the pod about our matching pinky rings?
Come on, camera. You can kind of see it. It's blue.
We got matching pinky rings for 10 years of friendship.
10 years of friendship. I found a ring to put on the other finger, so it didn't look so
perfect.
Weird. They're so cute. I'm glad we ended up with the pinky rings. Turns out, so we had a little bit of a debacle finding sizing, and we didn't realize these were pinky rings because they had the size 6 out, which is a very standard ring size for women, I would say. Like 6 is it's like a size 7 shoe. I don't know. Like, it's a very common size.
Average. Good starting spot.
And we kept asking to go bigger because apparently I have very large fingers. And finally, she told us they don't make it in that size because it's a pinky ring. And we're like, oh, okay. So we went and got pinky rings.
Pinky rings.
Like much better.
I know. I like it. I think it's fitting.
It is.
It seems right.
But yeah, 10 years. I think we mentioned that when our first show, which I don't know, maybe we have a lot more listeners now, but we met 10 years plus ago in Seattle, not Chicago.
Yeah, in Seattle.
And we worked at a store called Aviva, which was Lululemon's like kids store, young girl store.
Yeah.
And I was a holiday add-on as an employee. I wanted to teach Pilates, and I quit my real job, and I worked at Lululemon. And Abby was a manager.
I was a manager, and I remember when Heather came in to interview, and she left, and I said, I want to be friends with her. So
it's funny. The best part of that interview is I didn't know I was interviewing at Aviva. I thought I was interviewing at Lululemon until like 5 minutes before. And I like checked the email and I was like, wait, what? And I had to like Google it really quickly and figure out what I was walking into.
Right. Like what the heck Aviva
was like, okay. It just, I think like there were questions on like, kids and this and that. And I was like, was not prepared for this one bit.
Yeah.
But
my experience was very similar. Like I didn't realize that it was like, I thought that I was applying to a Lululemon role.
Well, in U Village, there's, like I thought the U Village Lululemon. So it all worked out.
And now Aviva doesn't exist anymore. And if you ever have to apply to, like, if you include it on a resume or like a background check, they can't find it. So watch out.
Good thing I have not had a resume. That's not true. I did apply for a couple jobs in the last couple years, but I luckily work for myself. I also don't come up on a background check. I don't think so.
Well, and
employment history is vague for the last 5 years.
Yeah, and like that was 10 years ago, so I think that that's outside the statute of limitations. So
yeah, I don't even think I go back that far on my resume.
Let's
talk some of the sports gossip first. This is old news. I think there we go. Mav hair. Anyways, this is old news, but a couple weekends ago, Bill Belichick was spotted at Jordan Hudson, his younger girlfriend, as everyone knows by now, cheer competition, adult cheer competition. I should also say adult co-ed cheer competition because that'll come into play later. The Jordan lore, I feel like, continues. She's competed in in the like US main beauty pageant. That's what they're called, right? And now, yeah, she does cheer competitions. The like good for her. Cheer. We just were talking about this before we recorded, and like cheers, no joke.
It's a hard sport. Like, they're flying up in the air, they're doing flips and spins and jumps,
I
choreographed
watched
all to
I watched Bring It On. I watched Cheer. Hey, that was a pivotal film. We're
That's
on.
high
This is
school. That's a high school cheer team.
it's still intense. They go to the like they go and compete, and they win a ton of money.
I
And it's
watched Spring actually, this is funny because we're gonna talk about F1, maybe, perhaps, and I just watched the F1 movie, so now I know everything about F1 naturally.
my God,
So, okay.
wasn't it amazing?
So
It's like, okay, we're going
yeah.
down the F1 route for a minute. Isn't it like the Top Gun of like motor? It feels
Yeah.
like the latest addition to Top Gun, in my opinion.
Yes.
I loved it.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
and it's just like going fast and
yeah, and Brad Pitt,
in vehicles that we wouldn't be able to drive ourselves.
exactly.
Planes, race cars.
I'm into it.
Anyway, Jordan Hudson.
Anyways, Jordan Hudson. I watched Bring It On. I also watched Cheer, the like documentary TV series. I also watched like Bring It On 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, like all of them, which go into college. No adult ones. Maybe Jordan should star in the latest Bring It On 7. I don't know what they're on these
Yeah.
days.
Add it to the franchise.
It could be about her team, adult co-ed cheer team, which is called Code Black. They compete at level 6 level, which, to be honest, I didn't do more digging on this because I was looking this up this morning. I have no idea if that's good or not, but seems to be serious. Says that they did well. I don't know how well or what, like, yeah, I didn't dig in. I couldn't find with a quick search. But I also found that she was part of the Bridgewater State University cheer team that won the NCAA Collegiate Championship in 2021. And she also has performed with East Celebrity Elite, which unsure if that is, it's got to be an adult one as well, because she helped them reach the
Yeah.
2024 World Championships, which was last year. So she is post college, as far as I know.
Well, and I think just coming out at like seeing Bill Belichick in the photos, it's so funny because like he's old enough to be her father, and he looks like a dad watching a cheer competition. Like,
Well,
if my father was to go to a cheer competition, he would be wearing a hoodie on the sidelines
would
with
look like
his arms crossed. Like,
I
that's
that I feel like
I
I don't care that she competed in a cheer. Like, I think it's more that like Bill was there and yeah,
huh.
like in his normal outfit. I feel like it's like the Steve Jobs of football coaches.
Yep.
And yeah, it just doesn't match. And I think because there's such crossover with cheerleading and football, it feels like the quarterback should be there supporting his girlfriend at the cheer competition,
Right.
not the coach.
Right. Yes.
That's, I think, where things start to feel a little bit more
And not
off
like the
to me.
great granddad coach.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a lot, but it has been news. People have been talking about it. And this is where I just think she could be doing so much more for her case. She posted an Instagram of her at a bunch of like the UNC games, and it had the caption, "I've loved supporting Bill Belichick at his adult all-male football league competitions this season."
But I don't know. I think it's funny. I
It's
think
funny.
like if it's
She-
funny.
I think she has a history of kind of these like cryptic Instagram posts and like not really like kind of using it as a way to like she's clearly irked from stuff, but she won't really like document the cheer competition, show people what you're doing. And I feel like there's not enough around her and who she is. The other thing that I discovered when digging this up, apparently the post after this one was like a random photo with the caption, "I'm suing you, Pablo Torres," who is like, Pablo Torres finds out is like a big, I don't know, kind of investigative journaling guy. Excuse me. Remember when It was not as bad as yours. People don't forget. What is that from? Do you remember the movie quote? People don't forget. Is it from Mean Girls?
Ellis in the other room goes, super bad.
Super bad. Thank you. I was like, I know this is a movie quote. I'm bad at movie quotes, but I feel like I use that a lot. People don't forget, Gail.
Thank you.
So Pablo Torres, remember when I showed you the clip of Jordan and Bill date like hot mic and they were trash talking the graphics for the podcast? That
Yeah.
was Pablo Torres thing. And so
Oh. And
I
she said
don't
that
know.
for that video, she was gonna
I
sue
don't
him?
know. I was trying to dig if he's talked about anything else. I couldn't find that clip on his page. And so I don't know if that's serious, like whatnot, but she seems to use Instagram as like a way to kind of like, I don't know, not just
People?
Instagram, the Instagram caption to like clap back essentially. But it's like, I don't know, she could be doing it in such a better way. So I thought that was interesting. I have no idea if that's real or not, or yeah, what the story is there. I would not put it past her. Anyways, that's really that on Jordan. But our favorite
Sugar baby.
yeah. The only other thing gossip wise, this is not really gossip wise, but this will be really quick. Josh Allen and Haley Seinfeld were in Laramie, Wyoming for his jersey retirement. And Laramie, Wyoming is a unique town. They looked really cute there. But my story is, guess who went to University of Wyoming? My dad.
Oh, of course he did.
So I've driven through a few times. I've never actually like spent time there. I was born in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So it was fun to see Josh. Like it's fun to see celebrities there. And it's also hilarious for me to think about like where they stayed, like what they did. Like, did they just like fly in, go to the game and leave? Because that's truly what I would probably do. I don't know. I would probably find myself at some grungy dive bar, but I can't imagine she
Right,
would,
what were they doing there?
especially because
Did you see this?
pregnancy
Did you see
rumors.
these pregnancy rumors? Well,
I
so I don't think, and I'm not the one I never wanna be like, "Is she pregnant? Is she not?" She just wore a very sculptural gown to this governor's award thing. Did you see that? Did you see the gown?
yeah,
Looked beautiful, like,
yeah.
great dress, but so a lot of Josh Allen fans have been calling her out as saying that she
Maybe
pregnant
pregnant.
because the gown was.
I fully believe that they are trying to get pregnant. Like they feel like the couple that gets married starts to pop out kids pretty quickly. That feels like
Yeah,
them.
on brand.
Um, yeah, there have been a couple. The Bills were doing pretty well, decent, kind of up and down, but like we're winning. And then there was a really bad loss a couple weeks back. And there was also a pretty bad loss not too like last week. But I was worried, and I don't. This comes from no source except for my own head of what could be going on in their personal life. But I was worried that maybe things were not going so well on the pregnancy front. And because he just looked so off, like as far as you're not your normal focused in the game quarterback.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like he's a guy. I mean, it is known that he throws up before every game, so he probably does get shook a little easy, but
It's known? That's a known fact?
yeah, he throws
I
up
didn't know
before
that.
every
Barfs
single game.
before every game?
It's like his pregame thing.
To barf? I don't like that.
No, I wouldn't either.
Why, just because he's so nervous? So he yaks?
I guess.
That seems like not a healthy way to start a game. Don't you need to,
Don't
like, have
either.
fuel in your body?
I imagine he's not like, I don't know. We don't need to go into that further. It's gross.
Well, you brought it up.
I know, but it's like a known thing. I'm just saying, like
I didn't know it.
well, it's a unique trait that he has that is talked about. And I don't know. You don't know a lot of things. Why we're
Oh, yeah,
here.
Josh Allen, week before
Gosh,
games.
yeah. I can't imagine it's like his whole breakfast, but I don't know. Anyways, all
No,
this to say,
okay, listen to this. It's a pregame ritual where he vomits before every game, a habit he started in college to prevent discomfort during gameplay. He says it is not a result of nerves, but a superstitious and ingrained part of his routine to get his body ready. So I don't like this. I I mean he's doing something right. It's fine, but it's not nerves at all. He's making himself barf. Like bulimic behavior.
I was to say that is usually called an eating disorder.
Yes, that is
Interesting.
bulimia.
I kind of pinned it on him of like just nerve based or like kind of it started in college because I was nerve and then it's just like become a thing. Like
Oh,
like
he's
brushing my
just
teeth.
barfing. Hopefully he brushes his teeth after he barfs.
Well, yeah, but it, like for me, brushing my teeth makes like there's something about it that like makes me gag. I feel like it's over the years, it's just like a thing. Like my
Yeah.
body knows brushing my teeth versus, and so I feel like his body knows that it's game time. Well, then, okay, yeah, he's normally cool and composed, and he was. I just feel like not very. Like he looked off, like so off and out of it mentally. And in conversation with Oral, who's a Bills fan, he mentioned pregnancy rumors. And I was like, I feel like it could have been actually not good news on the pregnancy front. So I imagine if things are, I don't know, it also could have just been a very off game. There's a lot of reasons why
Yeah.
he could, yeah.
Could be nothing baby related at all.
But I would imagine that we'll get an announcement in the next, I give it 6 months till well, how long is the first trimester? I'm asking, we're the wrong people to ask this question, but you would, I maybe know. Is it
3 months, 12
is it
weeks.
3 months? 12 weeks?
Yeah.
Um,
It's 9 divided by 3. 3 months is each
that,
trimester.
that makes sense. In my head, I feel like it could have been like 2, 4, 3. I don't know. That makes sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, it doesn't. But in my head, I feel like they could have been different terms for the different like development stages. I don't know. I give it 8 months then till we get like in the next 8 months we'll have an announcement, if
Okay.
not sooner. So that's
We'll see.
them. But
I
yeah,
won't tell.
more so just was finding that my dad went to the same college as Josh Allen. Different years.
We did recently discover that your dad was born the same year as Oprah, so that's cool.
We did.
In 54, great year.
Great year. While we're on football, I guess the next couple of things are going to be like the longer pieces. So do you want to start with soccer? Do you want to go football or hockey? Gossip.
Well, you tell me. Do you want me to educate you on the Champions League?
Yes. I
Okay.
think that's great. Oh, please pause.
What is your
Please.
Roomba schedule?
8:30 a.m. Now I changed it because it was interfering with normal daytime. And I'm usually
Clean
not
Latifah, go home.
Clean Latifah. She's stuck under the I need to find her. Okay, there. Excuse me. Clean Latifah is just trying to do her job. Okay. Champions League. What's going on?
Champions League. Okay, so as we mentioned in the beginning, I am currently in London and we are here to see an Arsenal game. So figured it would be a great way to talk about Champions League. And I will say we can cut this part. I do feel nervous because Ellis is in the other room right now,
No,
and
we're
he
not
helped me
cutting this
write.
part.
He helped me write this script, so I'm feeling nervous because usually I record all on my own, and now he's right over there.
Well, if we needed, we have an expert in the room, or producer.
Yeah, he's our expert. He helped me write all these facts and approved these facts. So I'm telling you true facts and
We didn't
not
have to
made up
Google
mumbo. Yeah, we didn't have to Google this because I got a guy.
I got it.
So, anyways, the Champions League. So honestly, one of the easiest ways into soccer because it's a league that's the best teams in Europe playing each other. And as mentioned, I'm here in London as an Arsenal fan and we're going to the game in just a few hours. So figured what better way, what better time to give you a why this game matters and what is soccer crash course. So basics, which Heather knows this because Heather also plays soccer, obviously, but soccer or football, literally everywhere else in the world, it's 11 on 11, two 45-minute halves, and the clock basically never stops. So there's no timeouts, no commercial breaks after every gameplay. It just flows. And goals are the only stat that really matter. So games can end in a tie, which is very weird and not something that I like, but it's my opinion. It's not the only one that matters. So most of what we talk about with soccer is club soccer, not the national teams. So clubs are like NFL franchises. So like Arsenal is one, Bayern,
Iron, Chelsea,
Bayern,
Man,
Yeah, so Arsenal, Bayern, Real Madrid, they play in their country's league all season long. And then separate from that, you have the national teams. So those same players could suit up for England or France or Brazil at events like the World Cup. So, but that's on a different calendar.
coming soon,
So,
2020.
yes. So the big difference from US sports is most domestic leagues don't have playoffs. So your league title is basically just one giant regular season. Everyone plays everyone twice, a home and away game, and you get 3 points for a win, one for a draw or a tie, and 0 points for a loss. So at the end of the season, whoever has the most points wins the league. So there's not like the playoff games. So like no 7-game series like we have in the World Series, no wild card weekend, like any of those. So it's a very interesting like league format.
I'll add this in. On one of the I have something stuck in my throat. One of the more unique things about European soccer is there are different tiers of leagues essentially. So you have the Premier League, LS. What's it go? It goes Premier League,
Promotions and relegation.
but what are the
Or in England, the leagues are the Premier League, the Championship, League One, League Two, and then it goes to
yeah.
he's 5 and down.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, top 3 go up from the Championship to the Premier League. Top 3 from the Premier League go down to the Championship at the end of the season.
The top 3 from Premier League go down.
Sorry, the bottom 3 from the Premier League go down.
So that's promotion and relegation. Yeah. So if you're on a team that's not performing well and you're in the bottom 3, then you're relegated to a lower league.
Yep. So I find this to be one of the more interesting things about soccer.
Yeah.
And
one of the largest plot points of Ted Lasso.
Truly. And the whole plot at Lasso, I think, is trying to get promoted or dealing with relegation. But that's, I think, one of the common things that you hear. And just to reiterate, the top 3 teams will move up from, so it's the Premier League, it's almost like a triangle. The Premier League sits up top, and then you have the Championship League, and then you have a bunch of leagues kind of following, and you can move up. Teams will move all the way up. So there's kind of a real life Ted Lasso story with Wrexham, which was a team in Wales. There's a documentary series on it. You can go watch it. Ryan, Blake's wife, Blake's husband. What is Ryan's last name? He was in a lot of movies.
Who's Blake?
Blake Lively is married to Ryan.
The way you said it, I was like, who's Blake? Ryan Reynolds.
Thank you. I couldn't think of his. I wanted to say Gosling, and I knew that was not right.
Ryan.
Just me trying to come up with names. So Ryan Reynolds and a guy from Always Sunny, I forget his name, they bought Wrexham, which was I forget what league it was in, but it was well below the top. And essentially they've just put a bunch of money into the team, and it's slowly been moving up, and it's kind of the Ted Lasso story essentially. And then if you do bad, the top 3 teams move down. So it's there's a lot more, I think, to it than just we won a pretty trophy, or the best in the league. Once you get to the top of the Premier League, that's kind of how it goes. But yeah, it's you don't want to go down.
So then at the top of this pyramid, that's the Champions League. So Champions League, it's run by the UEFA, which is basically the European soccer's governing body. And it pulls the best teams from each country's league. So the top finishers from England, Spain, Germany, Italy, France, and so on. So the easiest way to picture it is imagine the top NFL teams plus the top CFL teams and a couple of USFL or USFL All-Stars all went into a season-long tournament to crown the best club team in the Western Hemisphere. And that's the Champions League, basically. But for Europe, and
the NBA in-season tournament is also another good reference of it going on while regular play is also going on.
Right. So one thing, they just changed the format. So this season looks a little different than past seasons. So instead of small 4-team groups, there's one big league phase with 36 teams in a single table. Each club plays 8 teams total in this phase. So there's 4 at home, 4 away, all against different opponents. So after the league phase, the top 16 teams move on to a classic knockout tournament with 2-leg ties and one-off final at a neutral stadium. So that's also, I think, just a really interesting like cultural part. I mean, we talk about home and away games too, but I think that it's a whole other level with soccer is like the home and away and that whole it's crazy. The other thing, like, so the Champions League, it's not just like for vibes and pride and whatever. The money is huge. It brings in serious prize money, global TV exposure, like better sponsorship deals for players. It makes it way easier to sign and keep star players for the teams. So if you're in this competition every year, you're basically in soccer's upper class, you know?
which with promotion and relegation money helps a lot.
Definitely. So, and I mean, winning is also the ultimate flex. So like if you win Champions League, like that's a big deal. So for a lot of the big clubs and their fans, lifting this trophy means more in a single season than winning their own domestic league because you're not just the best in the country, you're best in Europe. So zooming into tonight, Arsenal, they're playing at home in London at the Emirates Stadium, playing Bayern. I keep messing it up. They're playing Bayern Munich in a Champions League phase game. Both teams have started the competition really strong. They're currently sat first and second in standings, with Bayern ahead on goal differential. So basically, this game is a big deal.
Yeah.
So the result here, like especially a win, would keep Arsenal on track to finish in the top 8 zone, which would mean a cleaner path straight into the round of 16 and then only a couple games away for the final. So it's a big game tonight. We're really, really excited to be here. And just like going to the games are so much more fun than any game in the States. Something about like there's pyrotechnics, there's shows, the fans know all the chants. And there's also
Do
just a
you
little
know?
tiny I don't know the chants, but I might do some research to learn the chants before. But there's also just like a little tiny triangle of a section for away fans. And I think that's hilarious just to keep them all relegated to one little area. So there's a lot of like fan on fan chanting. It's funny. It's great. The vibes are so fun. So that's
Soccer culture is it's so funny how I've been thinking about this a lot of how the US, like soccer is one of the biggest youth sports. Like kids start playing soccer at such a young age and
yeah.
then maybe go into other sports later. But like it's one of the like of the major 5, it's like one of the least watch sports. Especially I would say argue that like National Women's Soccer League is massive, but the MLS is not as big. And like you definitely have the diehards and they would probably argue against what I'm saying, but it is just so much different. It's essentially like football and is in America is like football in Europe, just the eyeballs on it. But I've never
Well,
been
and I
to it,
think
but I would imagine it
there's oh
so
my
much.
gosh, they're so fun. Well, next time we come out for one, we'll bring you along. And because they're so fun. It's it's like such a different cultural experience
Yeah.
going to one of
I've
these games.
been talking about sports a lot, but I like the FIFA World Cup is coming up in the US, Canada, and Mexico, which I want to try to go to a game next year. And then the Olympics are in the US following. And I'm like, I want to go to that. At the same time, I don't feel like I'm checking off like the bucket list items because I feel like going to both of those events overseas is like a fully different experience than like going to them in the US. Like just the
Hopefully.
culture that
Yep.
they bring, everything. And so they kind of in a similar line to like, yeah, it's just different.
It's
Makes
cool.
sense.
And so like this year we're not so we went to a game last year as well. And even the stadium itself, like last year we were on club level and you walk out at halftime. Is that what they call it? Halftime?
Yes.
Intermission?
Intermission, halftime.
But so you walk out on the club level and they just have beers out and ready and you just like go grab a beer and drink a beer. So it's very interesting because they don't allow you to drink in the stands.
It'd be a mess. I think
So
that's,
it would be, yeah, that would be crazy. So yeah, it's fun.
yeah. People are into it.
It's
I feel like you go to a game in the US and it's like, who's there? Like, it's a little more of a, social scene versus like everyone's a fan. So,
a love
yeah,
of the game for sure.
yeah, it's definitely different.
So that's
Cool.
we'll report back next week on results.
What happened? Yeah, by the time this is live, there will be a result of the game, but you'll know. I doubt anyone listening is truly watching this game. So go look at the score and see if Abby and Ellis had a good or bad evening.
Are we drinking Guinness in celebration or in mourning?
Or
No.
on the soccer note, ooh, bubble in my throat.
Have a frog in your throat.
There's some interesting things happening in women's soccer. Women's soccer has a cap on salary, and there's a lot of really phenomenal players. The U.S. women's national team is like arguably one of the better teams in America. Like they've have so much history of winning Olympics, World Cups, etc. They've been on the map for women's sports for a long time. There's a lot of new stars on the women's national team, one of which Trinity Rodman. She is the daughter of Dennis Rodman, but does not like him. She's her own woman. But that Rodman, she essentially plays for the Washington Spirit. They just lost to the Gotham in the championship game last weekend. She's one of the like major up and coming stars. She's young. She scores goals, as we know is like the most important thing. She's up for salary, like contract, like her contracts. So she's a free agent. She is getting offers from all sorts of things. There's another US league that's like a tier down but growing that has been able to offer her a lot more money. I would be shocked if she takes that, but there's a lot of talk about her moving to Europe. And so similar to the Arsenal, the men's, there's essentially like the equivalent for women's. It operates the same. It's a lot of the same team names, if not all the same team names. But we've had some US stars move to Europe because of the salary potential. And like soccer is just so much bigger. It's different in Europe. So that's kind of the like hot what's happening with her, what's she going to decide. And I think she's come out to say like, ask me on any given day and my answer's been different. So I think she's really undecided where she wants to go. And I think there's still, now that the NWSL season has ended, there's probably more movement with that. But I think there's a lot of off-season talk on not necessarily removing the salary cap, but like moving up the restrictions or like lifting the restrictions on US salaries for women.
Yeah.
So interesting stuff in tandem with the women's basketball, like WNBA, CBA negotiations, which no update on. The league did come out with none of this was on my list of things to talk about, but here we are.
Tell me more.
The league came out with, so technically their extension was for 30 days, which would be end of November. The league last week, I believe, came out with, they essentially upped the salary to multiple players could have a salary of up to 1.1 million. Great. Looks pretty on paper. I think that the Players Association has come out to say like, it almost kind of was a ploy of like, ooh, shiny figure, like we're in the $1 million. It would double the average salary from like 200 to like 460 or something per player. And like rookie salary contracts go up, all the above. I think what's missing is a lot of the other player demands around like the reffing, the facilities, things of that sort. So I don't think we've officially like heard them say no. Maybe we have, but there has not been any sort of resolution. I think they're still very much in negotiation. And I mean, it's Thanksgiving and no one's going to be talking this weekend. So I don't know what that will mean, if there'll be another extension or how that will essentially will have expired, and we'll go into that kind of like lockout situation come December as of now. So
Yeah.
women's salaries, pay them what you, yeah, lots to keep track of off season wise for women.
Have there been do we need to talk about any like coaches? Any of those like,
Oh,
or,
yeah.
or will that,
So Toronto got Sandy Brunello, the New York Liberty coach, which is a big pickup for a new league. They're gonna, I mean, the whole WNBA offseason is a mess. Like all of the contracts need to be renegotiated pretty much. There's the whole CBA thing, like who knows where that goes. Also then like multiple new teams coming. Over the next couple years, there's going to be the expansion draft. So usually how it works is like you can hold on to 2 to 3 players. So you can say like, you can like block. Like I could say, I want to keep these 3, you can't touch them. But then the team can pick like 1 or 2 players, probably 1 for basketball from like each of the teams. And then they're also potentially in the draft as well. So it's going to shake up some rosters, I think, for sure. Plus any of the like contract negotiation and changes. The Liberty hired a assistant coach from, I think reportedly has hired an assistant coach from the Warriors, white guy. And I think, I don't remember his name. I want to say Chris something. And I think there's kind of some flack of like, there's a lot of white male coaches in the WNBA, and there's a lot of really amazing Black women or like POC women who
yep,
a lot of people think would be a better fit. So I don't know, business decision. It doesn't look good, but hopefully he's a good coach. I'm sure he's a great coach, but like, for
right.
all of the optics.
Is he the right coach?
Exactly. And then the other news, the draft order has been set. It's like the draft lottery happened for the WNBA. And so we know who has the first round pick, or excuse me, like the first overall pick. And it is the Dallas Wings, who had one of the worst records in the league. They also had a coach firing. I forget who they hired, but they had the first pick last year and picked Paige Buckers from UConn. They also have this year's first round pick, and the potential like top pick is Azzi Fudd, who also plays on UConn and is also Paige Bucker's girlfriend. And so everyone is hoping that they get like, it's like a reunion of the two of them on Dallas.
Right.
I think Dallas needs to go for someone bigger. Like I think they need like more of a post player. But and like girlfriend, I mean, the WNBA, I'll say this over and over again, is a reality TV show on top of sports with like all of the relationships. They seem to be great. They've done the teammate dating thing in the past, but
Right.
I would be a little maybe hesitant of like, adult relationship versus college relationship. However, they play really well together. So who knows? And like, there's a lot of the college women's hoops season to be played. So who knows, like who else will be on the top. So some fun things to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Cool. The other big news I think we end with football drama, but the other sports gossip news is Tate McRae.
Yes.
Almost like Madison Beer was caught on a date with Jack Hughes. Canoodling and on a date in New York City, Anton's.
Have you been there?
Weekend. No, I don't know why I said that.
But yeah, Anton's.
My favorite part about this is I think it was maybe a guy or girl, I don't know. Whoever broke the news took a photo of them like sitting across from each other at a table eating, and like the like Snapchat, it was like a Snapchat story was Tate McCray on a date with man with broken wrist / arm, and like didn't recognize, like hockey players don't get recognized.
Right.
And so having a big name star dating a hockey player is like good for the sport. But that's the big news. She's Canadian. She's from Calgary. And so she's known to be a hockey fan. She's, I think, been around like the All-Star games last year and stuff like that. So it's her scene. I was laughing yesterday. We were talking about it with the social team, and I pulled up an article from them, and it like has their side by side, and I was like, young girls these days look so much older. Like he truly looks like a 14-year-old boy to me, and she looks like
Yeah.
maybe she's like late 20s with like how dolled up she is, and it's just like funny seeing them
Well, and
side
it's
by
just like
side.
the glam and like her like she's so beautiful, but and
Yeah.
like but the heavy glam is very different than
And like
like
I'm sure
a
the photos.
sports like
Yeah.
mugshot basically.
Yeah, like the side by side photo is hilarious. But figured I would introduce everyone to who Jack Hughes is because clearly people need a little education on who he is. So he essentially is a kind of like hockey royalty. First off, his mom, Ellen, is a former U.S. national team player who won silver at the 92 World Championship. She also played soccer and lacrosse at the University of New Hampshire. And then his dad played in college and then later coached and worked in player development for some of the NHL organizations. So Boston Bruins and Maple Leafs, Toronto Maple Leafs. He also has two brothers, Quinn Hughes and Luke Hughes, who also play in the NHL. All of them
I
were
didn't know that.
first round.
Interesting.
Yeah, all of them were first round picks. Quinn plays for the Vancouver Canucks, and Luke is also on the New Jersey Devils, which is where Jack plays. Yeah, so like very kind of hockey royalty family. I'd say.
I just love that they're brothers and they're on the
Oh,
same team. That's so
yeah. I
cute.
think that's a new addition to try to, but I love it. He plays offense. He's a center for the Devils. He was drafted first overall in 2019 and now has a $64 million deal. And so he's very much become their like long-term kind of franchise guy. I'm hoping to keep him around. He's very much a playmaker. He can score goals. He set a franchise record with 43 goals and a 99-point breakout season in 2022-23, and then has had back-to-back 70-point seasons since then. He points for hockey players are total of goals and assists. He also has dealt with a lot of injuries. So he's had some shoulder stuff, upper body things, and now he's out with what is not a broken wrist/hand, but actually a finger surgery. He had a fluke mishap where he cut his finger on broken glass at a team dinner a couple like weeks prior. And so he's out with surgery. Devils fans are now joking that he's tangled up in the Prudential Center curse because of this. And it's gone so far that fans are calling to the Etsy witches to lift the curse and make him healthy again.
What is the prudential curse?
That's a good question. I don't know. Some hockey.
Is it just like he's just injured a lot?
There's a strange tale of two mummies discovered beneath the Prudential Center. Hold on.
Whoa.
This is an article from 2019. New Jersey's Devil fans blame archaeological finds for team's injury woes.
This is crazy. Call in the
Oh.
Etsy witches. We're talking about mummy curses?
Hold on. When Prudential Center was being built in 2005, two mummies were found beneath the construction site. Yes, mummies, not the Egyptian kind. Part of Prudential Center site was a parking lot before that, and that's like dating back to the 1800s.
So somebody hid two dead
There
bodies.
was
in
a
the parking lot.
graveyard prior to that. The mummies were identified and sent to the Smithsonian.
That's haunted.
NewJersey.com
we're saying.
decided to there was a fun Halloween piece years ago that was like the first time many Devils fans had heard the story. This is a few years ago from 2019. So like mid 2015, let's call it. There was an article that came out as like a Halloween piece, and the Devils fans heard it, and that's kind of been the story. Since then, Hughes has got significant hand injury at a team dinner that and so there's a lot of kind of these like injury woes, and people, true hockey fashion, point fingers at the curse. I feel like that's just like sports. Like,
Superstition. Yeah. Okay.
Um,
So there's a curse from mummies, and we need the Etsy witches to come in and lift the curse.
Exactly. So Etsy witches are on it, and he should be back in, I think, a couple weeks in January, maybe early January from the surgery. And till then, he'll be
Until then,
out and
he's
about.
guy with broken wrist out and about with Tate McRae.
And There's some conspiracy theories going around about this new relationship. Another podcast, Spin Chicklets, talks about NHL stuff. Biz, one of the guys on there, thinks that his theory is that he thinks she's a mole for Team Canada. So the Winter Olympics are coming in 2026, and he's very much one of the players that will probably be on the team. She's from Calgary. That is where Team Canada headquarters, like US or Canada hockey headquarters are. And so he thinks that there's a conspiracy to get US team info.
Because Jack he's a
He's
US
American.
team. Yeah.
He's lived in
So-
Canada with his family, but he spent most of his older upbringing in Michigan, which is where US hockey is.
So like, is Tate McRae also a mole? Question
Is
mark?
Tate McRae a mole? She's known to be a hockey stan. She's from a hockey city. She's very involved. It's either a very good meet cute story or she's a mole.
I want to say meet cute, but also I would love it if she was a mole.
The thought is that she's gonna like make him fall in love with her, and then at the like championship US Canada game for the Olympics, which is apparently what's gonna happen, she's gonna break up with him before, and he's gonna have a terrible game, and Canada's gonna win.
Oh, I don't
So,
think
like-
that's not a good meet cute.
That's the fan.
not a
That's
good
the
story.
conspiracy theory is what she's trying to do.
Now we're breaking
think-
Jack's heart.
I think I know, and he's like a sweet little. He looks like just like cute little teen boy band. Like
Can a guy just fall in love?
I think we only need to be concerned if we start seeing more Canadian celebrities dating US hockey players. Till then, I think we're
Drake, stay away.
Drake dating a US women's hockey player would be hilarious, and I might be here for that. Yeah, that would not be on my bingo card.
No.
At all. Didn't know he had that type. But yeah, so that's Jake Hughes. He's one of the best young talents in the league and someone to pay attention
Jack
to.
Hughes. You just called him Jake.
Jack Hughes. You know me with names. Just swapped a letter.
We were just talking about Drake. Jake,
Yeah.
Jack.
Exactly. So yeah, now the more you know. Can't watch him for a couple months, but he'll be hopefully we'll see him on page 6.
We can watch his little brother.
Can watch his brothers. Yeah. Quinn and Luke.
Anyways,
that's our hockey news for the week. And then football. I feel like we got to talk football a little bit because it's Thanksgiving week in the US and Thanksgiving football games are like the classic thing to do. So there's a bunch of games. What I learned today for our BFF brief, our morning text message, if you're not signed up, there'll be a link in the show notes. The start of 90 years ago, a little over 90 years ago, 92 years ago, I think, the first Thanksgiving game was played between the Lions and the Bears. And the Lions owner had recently moved the team to Detroit and was trying to garner some interest and whatnot. So he thought it would be a good idea from like a marketing deal to like have a Thanksgiving Day game. And it was a huge success. And now they keep doing it. And we're still watching the Lions on Thanksgiving Day today or tomorrow. Well,
yeah, that's
today.
a fun fact. I didn't know that. But yeah, I did know that the Lions play Thanksgiving Day every year.
That's why they started it. So, cool fact, the game I'm looking forward to most, and this is Sports BFF is quickly becoming his fan account, but Joe Burrow is back. He will be playing. He's back from his toe injury and will be playing on Thursday night against the Ravens. I think that's like the Thursday evening game. And the
what a
Ravens have
debut back.
I know. Ravens have had 6 straight wins, and they're now tied the Steelers for the AFC North. Bengals surely need a win. They have not had the greatest season without Joe. He was asked, it was so silly. He was asked by a reporter why he's playing on Thursday, and like almost kind of the angle of like, are you coming back too soon? Or I don't know. And he was like, I'm a football player. This is what I do. What do you mean? Why am I? It was like it was a very Joe response, but also like, what do you mean? Why am I? Of course I'm playing. I was cleared.
Yeah.
Yes, I got hurt, but like That's part of the game, and I'm good to go. So why would I not play? I don't know. It was silly.
Don't ask stupid questions.
Also posted in like true Joe fashion, he posted a story on his socials that was just a photo of him, like a really awkward mirror selfie. Like the mirror was like, it's not like a bathroom selfie. It's like a mirror in his home. It's like in the corner. He's wearing a LeBron, like an old Cavs Cleveland jersey.
Cleveland Browns?
He's wearing an old Cleveland LeBron jersey and just posted, he's back. So that was the announcement that he's playing. But in more interesting news that I think you're going to find interesting, Lamar Jackson, the quarterback, the Ravens, was out on Monday due to a toe injury.
What's happening with these men's toes?
I don't know. There have been more. I don't know. It didn't say turf toe, so it could be bunions. But he's had some issues with like hamstring stuff. He's had a couple games that he has been like hurt. He hasn't missed games. I don't think it's confirmed that he's not playing on Thursday, but
his toes are hurting him.
His toes are hurting him. And this year has been like NFL toegate. There's something going on with the turf.
You know something that's interesting, actually? Running shoes and shoes that, like sneakers that have, you know how some have like the toe is
the curve.
Like the curve up. That's what I'm trying to say, but my hand is only doing the motion and not the words. That causes toe weakness, which actually the context that I saw it in is that older people need to be wary of wearing those shoes because weak toes can cause a greater risk of falling, which is very dangerous for an old person. So is this also causing toegate?
Yeah, maybe we got to get these guys. I mean, I feel like I see a lot of like ankle and stability and stuff, but like, yeah, maybe they need to be barefoot and like doing.
Wear those crazy barefoot toe shoes. I hate those. Those are so weird.
There is a football player. I don't know his name, but there is a football player who like goes, I think he plays for the Bills maybe. And he always is barefoot. He walks into the stadium. What is going on with my throat? He walks in the stadium barefoot like every game. Like,
I've seen. Yeah, he just doesn't wear shoes.
He wears cleats.
Well, I think there could be some science behind that. And it could be, I think, in like NFL trainers, do we just need to do more foot exercises? Because that's huge. And I think your like the feet, it's all connected. So your feet could cause a hamstring strain. You know, like it's truly
I'm very
bringing
much
the Etsy witches
with a lot of injuries. Yeah,
witches to help with the toes too. Anyways,
yes, I think he will be playing. I don't know. I can't confirm, but that's the game I'm most excited for, mostly because of Joe. Yeah, love to see him back, and we'll see how it goes. But 3 games, a lot of games tomorrow, and then there's Bears-Eagles game on Friday. So you have football.
That'll be a good
pretty
one.
much all weekend. That'll be a good one. Bears are doing well. It's shocking. And then the Eagles have been squeaking by, but yeah, they need to have a game to kind of like, they need to have like a standout game. But pretty much nothing is like, everything is a mess right now in the NFL as far as like standings. And it's like they're at the top, but they've also lost to this team. And then like this team has lost to this team, but they've beat this team. And so Patriots and Rams, I kind of tried to break this down a little bit because it's actually quite nutty. So the Patriots and the Rams lead the AFC and NFC respectively. So in the 2 conferences, they're at the top. Not by much, but they're clearly at the top. The Patriots, though, have lost to the Steelers and the Raiders, both teams. The Rams have lost to the Eagles and 49ers. They've also beat the 49ers, but they're in the same division, so they play each other multiple times. 49ers have lost to Houston and the Buccaneers. The Colts have lost to the Rams, Steelers, and Kansas City. Denver has lost to the Chargers and the Colts. Houston's beat Buffalo and the 49ers, but they also lost to the Seahawks and Denver. Buffalo lost to the Patriots, Houston, and the Miami Dolphins. The Steelers beat the Colts and New England, but have lost to a myriad of other teams. The Lions have beat the Buccaneers and the Bears, but they lost to Kansas City, Miami, and Houston. Kansas City beat the Colts and Lions, but then have a million other losses to other teams. Eagles lost to the Giants and Dallas, but beat the Bucks and the Packers. Packers lost to Cleveland and Carolina. The Bears beat Buffalo and Dallas, but lost to the Lions, the Vikings, and the Ravens. Like, it's just a big ol' mess at the moment.
Yeah.
So
So like those Patriots and the Rams, they're at the top, but it's been a messy battle to
yes,
get there. And
both of those teams are starting to look like clear favorites. Losses have been earlier in the season and they've been winning, and like team is looking strong. But we're getting down. So there's 6 weeks left. There's 18 weeks in the NFL season. This is going to be week 12 or maybe 13.
it seems crazy. I feel like time is time.
Yeah, this is week 13. So this is the 5th last weekend. So we're getting down to the wire. And so some of these teams, for example, Bills, Eagles, Bears, Denver, Hawks, Niner, like all of these teams need to, it's kind of like you got to start winning because like you can't really afford to make the mistakes anymore, because it's just really like a fight for the top. And we'll see how both the Patriots and Rams continue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that it's been a crazy season, especially after the last couple seasons where we've had some like major, like it was pretty much like Bills, Eagles, Kansas City the last few years.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
So that's that. Exciting weekend ahead. The other thing you should know, your Detroit Pistons are on a run.
I saw that.
They play
Like
tonight.
13 wins in a row, right?
That ties the franchise record, and the only two other teams to do that won the championship. So good omen. They play tonight against the Boston Celtics and could be the 14th win to set a franchise record. So eyes are on them. They're playing well. They have a top 5 defense.
Yeah, I did see that. Exciting for them. And especially now that they're back downtown, their stadium moved around a bunch in Michigan, and now they're back downtown at Little Caesars Arena where the Red Wings also play. Let's fact check that. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure that's true. I didn't know they moved around a bunch.
Well, confirmed. They do
Okay.
play their home games at Little Caesars Arena. They used to be in Auburn Hills at the Palace. So they moved downtown. That was a big change in development to get them back downtown.
Love it. Yeah. I would love to. I mean, I think it'd be fun to see them win, but go Lakers. We also had a big game last night against, I forget who, but the Luka, Austin Reeves, LeBron James combo is doing great for us. I'm excited. It's a good start to the year. But that's that. That's all I got.
Well, see you next time.
See you next Thursday.